Well, go on, people. Bless upon yourself. We back. We here with another update. And people, today was the final day of we thought today was gonna be the final day for Vybz Kartel appeal hearing. You know what I mean? So a lot of people was thinking they're gonna get the outcome or the verdict today or sometime this week, right? Now it's being pushed to July. I think it's 31st, right? That's the last day, the final day where we should get the judgment where the cartel and its co-accusers they're gonna go back to a retrial or if the judge is gonna free them up, right? So I got a snippet, a little clip from Vybz Kartel lawyer Buchanan, right, talking about the outcome of the case today, and basically, they put forward their arguments and stuff like that, and the judge is looking at everything and taking, all of you know, the the application that was filed. The judge is looking at all of that and considering everything in this case, right? Because it's just an hearing, so the defense team, they have to, submit their applications, all right? Likewise, the prosecution, they have to submit, their application or their argument on why they think there should be a retrial. Now, Buchanan said, right, the prosecution or the prosecutor, they fighting for a retrial. We all know that, right? Because the case was sent back. It was remitted to Jamaica for the Court of Appeal to decide whether Vybz Kartel is going to be retried or if he and his co-accusers them should walk free. Now, on the other hand, right, what I think a lot of people is not overstanding or understanding is that if Vybz Kartel is released on the technicality, right? Let's say the case was mishandled. Privy Council, they took it to the Privy Council. The Privy Council quash the conviction, not the charges, and send the case back to Jamaica for Jamaica to decide. So it's basically up to the Jamaican Courts of Appeal right now to decide whether Vybz Kartel should be let go or whether they should give him a retrial. Now, if they let Vybz Kartel go, right, or let Vybz Kartel and his co-accusers go, based on the technicality of the case, meaning, the one of the jurors that was the tainted juror, the tainted juror. You have to remember, even if you get off on that technicality, right? Let's say, okay, well, yes, they did mishandle, this case, and by doing that, they violated his human rights, right? But remember, said the evidence is still there, So the judge is watching. To me, this is how the judge is looking at things. Like, okay, the argument that the prosecutor and the defense team is arguing right now is whether Vybz Kartel, not whether he should get a fair trial or an unfair trial. They're arguing, should Vybz Kartel get another, go through a retrial, because of the mishandling of the case before. But if they let Vybz Kartel out of prison, then, and his co-accuser, then what happened to Lizard, the victim? You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like this thing is just going to go away, right? Because if they let Vybz Kartel, a lot of people still going to want to know, like, okay, so what happened to Lizard and his family? What happened to justice for the victim? See? So that's why the prosecution team was telling the judge, be careful. Because if you let this man out just based on technicality, this is going to set a precedent for other inmates, right, to follow. So this is, it's a technical case, or the situation that they're in right now. It's kind of unique. So the judge, I think, is looking at everything and trying to play a fair game. No, like I said, the judge is saying he's accepting all of the evidence and looking at it And like I said, I thought we would have got a ruling sometime this week, you know what I mean, or probably next week. But to see the judge push it till next month, I think the end of next month, you know, that tells me they're looking at every single details presented to make sure if they go through with a retrial, right? Some people are saying they can't go through the retrial because he's not going to get a fair trial. I think people got it misconstrued. That's the whole point for justice. Remember, they dealing with courts, you know. So until the courts or until the judge orders Vybz Kartel free, Vybz Kartel is not going to be a free man. So if the judge said there's a retrial, that's where Vybz Kartel defense team would have to come in and prove their client innocent again, and the defense, the prosecutor team would have to put up their fight to say why, you know, Kartel is guilty and why he should stay, you know, behind bars. But remember, you guys have to remember, it goes through the court. It's a court process. You know what I mean? It's like no one just can, not because the judge is a judge, he can say, well, okay, free Vybz Kartel because yes, the case was tampered with, and you know they had the jurors that was you know, bribing other jurors and all these things. No, this it still have to go to the courts, right? Like what's happening right now with this appeal hearing case. Yeah, everything has to go back to the courts, and it's up to the courts or the judge to decide, you know what I mean, whether Kartel should get a retrial or not. You understand? So come July 31st, or whenever that date is set for in July, all right, then we're gonna know whether Vybz Kartel is gonna be a free man or whether they're gonna take him to a retrial. And like I said, I think personally there's going to be a retrial, because if they just let him out and just let Vybz Kartel and his co-accusers walk free, then what happened to the victim? Are you gonna say there's no justice for the victim, or are we just gonna act like this never happened, or because they don't have a body for Clive Lizard William, we're gonna just say, well, all right, well, you know, and what about his family and justice for them? You guys see what I'm saying? So it's not a one-way thing. I don't understand, you know, Gaza fans, them gonna be upset, probably upset right now, because they was expecting to hear a verdict, you know, either today or sometime this week. So now to see it's pushed back till July, you know, I know a lot of people gonna be thinking, why so long? Right? Even to me, I was thinking, why so long? But then again, like I said, the judge is trying to play fair game here, making sure he's looking at every, you know, crevice and every corner, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's on this one, just to make sure, you know, they get it right. So, you know, come July 31st, we're gonna know exactly where Kartel stand on, you know, on this, if it's gonna be a retrial or if it's gonna be, or if they're gonna be set free. All right, but like I said, the through the process of justice, I see a retrial, because that's the only way they could decide whether Vybz Kartel is innocent or free. Other than that, they just gonna have to let him go, right? And if they let him go, then like I said, what's gonna happen to the victim? Is there no justice for the victim? All right, so this is kind of crazy, and like I said, it's a unique case. So I'm just waiting the outcome. I'm just giving you guys the update on how I see things, you know, unfolding right now. So, you know, with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, like, share, leave a comment. All right, become a member of the channel. You guys can hit that thanks button. All right, that would be very appreciated. Yeah, just leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm gonna let you guys hear what Buchanan had to say about his client and about the retrial hearing. So you guys just listen to what Buchanan have to say, and I'll check you guys on another update. All right, I'm out.
But certainly the defense is saying no retrial. The prosecution is saying there can be a retrial. There was a breach of the fair trial right, which was the central issue of this case, and whether or not the court can order a retrial in the circumstances. Certainly for the defense, we would have presented affidavit evidence, which was a plethora of documents. As you can see, it went over into day 6, and even at the end of day 6, there were so many documents that the court was inundated with information that they now have to go through. I just wish to make clear that because of this, it is one of the reasons why the court now has to go through the information and have a written judgment, because this is a high public interest matter, and so the explanations coming from the court will be of great value. Certainly, in terms of the progress of the case, the client is anxious. There's not much you can tell a man who wants to get out of jail as to why is it being delayed or anything like that. It is a continuing breach, and that, as I said, that's certainly where it is. And so I have no comforting words for my clients, save and to say that the court has now made it clear that they're mindful of Mr. Palmer's illness, they're mindful of the length, and that certainly they have given a time, as in the maximum time that they will be able to write the judgment and be able to hand it down. That my response is always God on time. This case is finished. I from the defense bar, fresh justice is something that a concept that we ought to be looking at in terms of trying to ensure that persons who are put before the court for the very first time, that their matters don't fall into the position that the appellants are in this particular case. So in terms of pushback, the judge did make it clear that there will be some pushback for other cases to ensure that in light of Mr. Palmer's illness, that they get the judgment out at the fastest possible time. And the blame is now at the hands of the prosecution and the defense, because we inundated them with paperwork, which was my defense is it was necessary to do so.
Are you confident in what the ruling may be?
I'm always confident. I'm always confident. It's God on time. I only speak positive to the universe.